Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name's Karli Barnett. We want to give you a look at some of the stories that we are following for your Sunday. These are the stories that we have our reporters out working on, and they may continue to develop throughout the day. So I'll go ahead and remind you that you can always check back at atlantanewsfirst.com, as well as downloading our free Atlanta News First app. You can get breaking news updates sent directly to your phone. But we already have our crews out and about this afternoon. You can join us tonight at 10 on Peachtree TV, 11 on CBS, and you can always stream all of our newscasts live and on atlantanewsfirst.com. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get started with some of the things that we are following for your weekend. Speaking of weekend news, this will apply to those who like to spend time out on the Chattahoochee River. You may remember it was last summer that we were having a similar conversation, but what we have learned is that there have been dangerously high levels of E. coli bacteria detected in the Chattahoochee River. I know Megan Packer discussed that this morning. We do have a bit of an update as we've been learning more details. But this was detected by Chattahoochee Riverkeeper. They were doing their routine river monitoring, and they tracked the source to the City of Atlanta's R.M. Clayton Water Reclamation Center, or WRC. So they said that this is immediately downstream of the Marietta Boulevard and Atlanta Road Bridge. And what this video is from, I remember I was out there covering it this summer and getting this video when in summer of 2023, there was a failure at the Big Creek Water Reclamation Facility in Fulton County. That sent more than 20 million gallons of undertreated sewage into the river upstream of the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area. You may remember that resulted in a 3-week closure of the river park in order to protect public health, of course, falling right in the middle of those summer activities there. So as far as what happened today, we do know Chattahoochee Riverkeeper in their routine checks found what they described as dangerously high levels of that E. coli bacteria downstream of the Marietta Boulevard, Atlanta Road Bridge. We did reach out to the city. The Department of Watershed Management said that there has not been a sewer spill at the R.M. Clayton Water Reclamation Center. They say that it is operational, it's online, but the Department of Watershed Management did say they are currently performing corrective and preventative maintenance on multiple secondary clarifiers at the plant due to mechanical failures that they say were caused by high flows during intense rain events. So right now, they say additional disinfectants are being introduced in order to lower the levels of E. coli, and they are going to continue monitoring and sampling. And in the event of those elevated E. coli levels, they're going to take proactive measures to mitigate their impact, and they say they will collaborate with the EPD in order to address those. So the Chattahoochee Riverkeeper, they're the ones who initially detected it. We reached out to the Department of Watershed Management. They say they are undergoing their own tests, but they do know that there has been no sewage spill like there was last year. But they did say that there were some mechanical failures at the plant that they are working to provide preventative maintenance on and corrective maintenance on, citing those high flows that they had during some recent intense rain. So we're going to continue to stay on top of this, but in the meantime, I know we're getting toward the end of our Sunday evening, but if you're someone who has plans to get out on the water, may want to hold off just until the Department of Watershed Management makes sure that all of those levels are safe and everything is back to normal. All right, the next story that we are following, this is a developing one that we are working to get more details on, but we do know that Atlanta police say they are investigating a shooting that happened during what seems to be an attempted armed robbery happening on Howell Mill Road, a very busy area, as you know. We've got some video here just of that area right outside of the Hattie B's Chicken there. And what we know so far is that it was around 4 a.m. that officers responded to a person shot call at 980 Howell Mill Road. You're looking at that area right there. When officers got there, they learned the victim had been privately transported to Grady Memorial Hospital. Officers went to Grady, they met with the victim, and they say their preliminary investigation indicates the victim was approached in a parking lot by suspects wearing ski masks. Those suspects demanded the victim's items in an apparent attempted robbery, But when the victim refused and revealed a firearm and shot toward the suspects returned fire, striking the victim. The suspects then wound up fleeing the scene in what appeared to be a silver sedan, and Atlanta police say their investigation continues. So right now they are looking for an alleged attempted robber or multiple that approached a man in the parking lot area near the Hattie B's wearing ski masks, demanding his items, and when that man showed his firearm in self-defense, he says that he was shot by those suspects. It could be that police are looking for that silver sedan. At this point, no update on any suspects or anything like that, but we're going to continue to stay on top of this news, this developing story, to see if we can get more details about that car, more details about the suspected robbers. But again, the victim did tell officers they appeared to be wearing ski masks, so still waiting to get a little bit more clarity on who exactly police are looking for and how many people they are looking for. I want to direct your attention here to our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. This is an important story here because Atlanta police say they are looking for a missing 13-year-old girl, and they're calling this case critical. Now, we have reached out to police to learn more about why they are describing this case as critical, but regardless, we do know that a 13-year-old girl has gone missing. Sanijah Hill, 5'6", weighing 135 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. This is her picture that you're looking at on our website. You can see this is the top story on our website right now, right in the middle. Police officers say they were called to a home on Bass Street Southwest Friday. Hill's mother said that she had last seen her daughter around 5 a.m. before she went to work. Hill usually comes back home around 5 p.m., but the woman's son had called her around 6 p.m. saying Hill did not return. Canines checked the area. They didn't find her. Other family members also say they don't know her whereabouts. This is in the Mechanicsville area. Officers are asking anyone who has information about where she is or where she could be to call either 911. You can call Crime Stoppers at 404-577-TIPS, or you can call investigator Shanquisha Murray directly at 404-940-5503. So I'm going to go ahead and give you those numbers again just so you could go ahead and jot those down. Of course, you can always call 911. You can call Crime Stoppers 404-577-TIPS or 8477, or investigator Shanquisha Murray at 404-940-5503. Atlanta police calling the case of this missing 13-year-old critical. Sanijah Hill is who they are looking for. Again, this is our top story on our website right now. Take a moment, go ahead, take a look at her picture, familiarize herself with her image, and investigators are urging you, if you know anything about where she could be, her family is extremely concerned. They are looking for answers, so they are hoping they can find out more and bring her home safely. Now, this next story, I had told you a little bit yesterday, touching on what comes next in the case for Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. As you all know, if you have been following our Atlanta News First coverage, we have stayed on top of this since the beginning, since that motion to disqualify was originally filed back in January. That led to this disqualification hearing. That led to several weeks, really, of testimony between both sides. That led to the judge taking 2 weeks to ultimately decide what would be best for the case. And his decision that he made Friday was that District Attorney Fani Willis could stay on the election indictment case, but only if she parted ways with top prosecutor Nathan Wade. So our reporter, Asia Wilson, she spoke to an Emory law professor today to learn a little bit more about what this means going forward for District Attorney Fani Willis. As we have heard from other legal experts, there are likely appeals to be filed in this case. So while it may seem like a done deal, probably still not going to be the last of this situation. So we're going to learn a little bit more about what he has to say.
I think this gave both sides a partial victory.
John
Neither side's
Acevedo,
happy.
law professor at Emory University, is responding to Judge Scott McAfee's Friday ruling that either Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis must step down from the 2020 election interference case, or Nathan Wade, the special prosecutor who was also her romantic partner, must step aside. Ultimately, Wade resigned that same day.
Neither side's happy. And in that sense, I think it split the difference quite down the middle. More importantly, it ended it as an issue going forward.
This all comes after the two testified in a weeks-long disqualification hearing.
Our relationship wasn't a secret. It was just private.
It is a lie. It is a lie.
Brought on by former Trump White House aide Michael Roman, alleging Willis crossed ethical boundaries during her romantic relationship with Wade and misused taxpayer funds.
Social media platform?
No, I haven't yet.
Acevedo believes the defense could file some appeals this week.
Whether or not that appeal is accepted by the Court of Appeals is another question, but it seems like it's a low-cost, high-reward potential strategy for them to engage in. So this might be something to see by Friday. If they do 10 business days, it'll be early next week, but it's likely to happen this week.
And for Willis,
for her own appeal, I doubt she'll do it. Wade has already stepped aside. I'd actually be surprised if we don't see a new special counsel announced by the end of this week. I think she'll either promote someone within her existing team or name a new person as quickly as possible just to get the case back on track and the focus back on these defendants.
In Fulton County, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
We do know there are a lot of moving parts to this, of the state Senate conducting their own investigation through their own committee that they have set up. State Senator Bill Countsert is head of that. We spoke with him last week as well. So Atlanta News First is going to continue to keep you updated on any new developments as this continues to move forward. But this is what we are looking at for now. We have a lot more news ahead coming up tonight. We just want to give you an idea here of where our crews are working and starting from so far and giving you some updates in these stories. Again, you can join us tonight at 10 and 11. We hope to see you there. And if you want some questions about the weather, we do know it's the weekend. You can ask those questions to First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin. He is going to be back here at the First Alert desk tonight at 8 p.m. It's a great opportunity to kind of go beyond the forecast and be able to ask him weather questions that pertain to your area. Of course, we are wrapping up St. Patrick's Day, but we are looking forward to the work week ahead. Some significant changes on the way as far as those temperatures go. I do know that. So, hey, hope everyone is having a great St. Patrick's Day. Hope you're wearing your green. It's hard to tell, but I've got my olive green on as well. It was a good time yesterday for the Atlanta News First crew to be out in the St. Patrick's Day parade yesterday, but we know many people are also celebrating today. So I'll go ahead and conclude here with a live shot of the city of Atlanta. We hope to see you tonight on Atlanta News First. Don't forget, you can always watch our shows streaming live as well. And if you just can't wait until then, join us back here at 8 on the First Alert desk. That's a great time to get those weather questions answered. Stay safe, take care, and have a good rest of your Sunday.